Tieflings are a very well-known D&D race that somehow became iconic and very popular. However, during my entire tabletop RPG career, I don't think I have ever seen a Tiefling player character. Now that I think about it, I don't think I have ever seen a Tiefling NPC either. But I'm probably an outlier in that regard, as my games for one reason or another often are full of dwarves instead. I have even had a dwarven ninja once. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about dwarves, I'm here to talk about tieflings. Who are the tieflings? An offspring of a fiend and a mortal is a half-fiend or one of the more specific variants, and an offspring of a half-fiend and a mortal is a tiefling. After that, the fiendish heritage may lie dormant or get diluted further, but even several generations down the line, a tiefling may be born to seemingly normal parents. In D&D, tieflings can only be born to humans, so there cannot be, for example, an elf tiefling or a dwarf tiefling, but there are some other similar Planetouched races for certain non-human races. Pathfinder had universal tieflings that could be born to any race, but they were mechanically identical. I believe that tiefling should not even be a race, but should be a lens instead that should be applied to any other racial template. But you know what? This might sound radical, but I don't think that tieflings should even exist as a lens. If you read the lore, you'll see that no two tieflings look the same, unless you're playing D&D 4e where all tieflings do look and work the same. There is an in-universe justification, but it doesn't make it any less stupid. Even if we look at the D&D mechanics, we'll see that they do not make a lot of sense. Why do all tieflings get the same energy resistance and the same spell-like ability? There are many different fiends in the D&D universe, and them all passing these traits to their descendants just doesn't make sense, especially since not many of them actually have these traits in the first place. Pathfinder, in my opinion, took a step in the right direction by creating tiefling bloodlines in the Blood of Fiends book, so that tieflings descended from demons are different from tieflings descended from Rakshasas, for example. Sure, I'm going to show off the generic tiefling racial template that I made, but I advise against using it. As you can see on the screen, it merely has infravision, minor DR against cold, electricity and fire, and a mild darkness effect, and a level of unnatural features. This is boring, but that's pretty much the D&D tiefling for you. Instead, I suggest you work with your GM. You can work out your character's fiendish heritage in detail to determine what kind of traits would be appropriate. For example, if your tiefling has descended from a pit fiend, then dark vision and some DR against fire would work fine, plus some fiery magic ability. If your tiefling has descended from a cacodemon, then it might have one eye and fangs. If your tiefling descended from a cerebrolith, then it might have psionic abilities, but lack skull DR, for example. All those minor tiefling features that you might have seen in D&D books and that had no mechanical representation before now can be represented. Hooves instead of feet, horns, teeth, a spiked tail, glowing eyes, etc. All that can be made with advantages or disadvantages. If you do not want to work all this out, you may ask the GM to roll up your ancestor randomly and then give you the result. Anything works here. It is also important to consider various social traits that are not taken into account in D&D. How are tieflings treated in the setting? You might want to get negative or positive appearance, status, social stigma, reputation, and other similar traits. This is exactly the case where they shine. And I bet that now that the fact that everybody shuns you gives you some points back will make role-playing such an outcast a more fun and rewarding experience. Even though I recommend all that, I will also give you some other templates for other fiendish Planetouched races. The first one is Warghest, a race of Planetouched descended from Barghests and Goblins. They are much larger than goblins and have the ability to transform into a wolf. Enemies eaten by the Wargest cannot be resurrected. The Tanarooks are descended from Vroks and Orcs. They are smaller than the normal orcs but are still just as strong. They are resistant to magic and fire, and they are able to create clouds of fire at will. Meloths are Planetouched, descended from dwarves and devils. Meloths look like sturdy dwarves with fiendish features that hint at their devil-tainted ancestry. They can see in the dark even better than the normal dwarves, and have the Unholy Touch perk. Wisplings are Planetouched, descended from halflings and demons. With a heritage touched by demonic fire and chaos, this offshoot of the halfling race embodies everything that is small, quick, and deceptive. They can change their appearance with the elastic skin advantage. Finally, the Fey-Ri are descended from Sun Elves and Tanar-Ri. They have a large variety of magical abilities that probably are too expensive for your typical player characters. And that's all of them, I think. But in any case, the main takeaway from this video should be that you do not need all these templates. Tieflings, in my opinion, are too unique to need a generic racial template. Each Tiefling character requires a personalized approach to both appearance, abilities, weaknesses, and social standing. But I'm sure that if you put some effort into your character, then both you and your GM will get more enjoyment out of the game. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.